Where are you watching from? Drop a comment below. I bet some of you know exactly what it's like to stumble up your driveway at 7:45 in the morning, still wearing scrubs, praying you can grab 3 hours of sleep before your next job. That was me that Tuesday morning in Millbrook, Tennessee, shuffling from my 2012 Honda Civic with 186,000 miles on the odometer. The morning sun hit that regional medical center parking sticker on my windshield, the one that would eventually cost our HOA $2.3 million. But I'm getting ahead of myself. "Mommy, you're home," Tyler called from the window, 10 years old and already used to making his own breakfast. That's what happens when Dad's been gone for 18 months and Mom works 3 jobs to keep the roof over your head. See, when David died, sudden heart attack at 38, no life insurance because we were young and stupid, I inherited a mortgage payment of $1,400 a month and a kid who deserved better than losing his home, too. So, I work. Emergency room nurse 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. at Regional Medical. Home health aide 8 a.m. to noon. Weekend retail at Target. People ask how I do it. You just do. You drink coffee that tastes like motor oil, you cry in hospital bathroom stalls, and you keep moving because stopping isn't an option. That morning, I found the first violation notice tucked under my wiper blade. Bright orange, like a traffic ticket. Violation notice. Riverview Estates HOA. Vehicle 2012 Honda Civic. License TNX 4821. Violation, commercial vehicle parked in residential area. Fine, $50. Due 10 days. I actually laughed. Exhaustion makes everything absurd. Commercial vehicle? It was a Honda Civic with a hospital parking sticker. I'd seen actual commercial vehicles in our neighborhood. Jake's plumbing van 2 streets over, the landscaping trucks every Wednesday. I folded the notice, figuring I'd call after some sleep. Clear up the confusion. Explain that I'm a nurse, not running a business out of my driveway. "Is everything okay, Mom?" Tyler stood in the doorway, backpack ready for school. "Everything's fine, baby, just a misunderstanding." If I'd known that little orange paper was the first shot in a war that would consume the next 18 months of our lives, that would expose discrimination against dozens of families, that would lead to federal investigations and millions in settlements, well, I probably would have gone inside and gone to bed anyway. Because that's what you do when you're running on 2 hours of sleep and have to be back at work in 12 hours. But I would have started documenting everything right then. Instead, I kissed Tyler goodbye, set my alarm for 10:30, and collapsed into bed still wearing my scrubs. The hospital smell, disinfectant and desperation, clung to me like always. 3 hours of sleep, then up for round 2. That's how it is when you're keeping your head above water, one shift at a time. You don't see the sharks circling until they've already taken the first bite. My name is Rebecca Martinez, and this is how a hospital parking sticker brought down the most corrupt HOA in Tennessee. 3 days later, I caught her in the act. 8:02 a.m., I just pulled into my driveway after another brutal shift. There she was, Karen Westfield, HOA president, photographing my Honda like it was a crime scene. Perfect blonde highlights, designer workout clothes that had never seen actual sweat. The kind of woman who had time for 9 a.m. Pilates because her husband's construction company printed money. "Can I help you?" I called out. She didn't even flinch. "Just documenting the commercial vehicle violation." "It's a Honda Civic with commercial markings." She pointed at my windshield. "That hospital decal makes it a commercial vehicle." I actually laughed. That's a parking sticker, so I can park at work. She finally looked at me then. That expression, like I was something she'd scrape off her shoe. The rules are very clear. No commercial vehicles overnight. If you can't comply, perhaps you should consider living somewhere more affordable. I'm a nurse, not a mobile business. Night shift at Regional Medical. She said it like an accusation. ER, is that a problem? Her smile didn't reach for eyes. Of course not, but rules are rules. That's your second notice. Third one comes with $100 fine. My neighbor Jim shuffled out, still in his bathrobe. 73, retired postal worker, lived here since the houses were built. Morning, Rebecca. Everything all right? Just explaining HOA regulations, Karen chirped, voice shifting to sugar sweet. Jim waited until she'd clicked away in her heels. Rebecca, you need to be careful with that one. It's just a misunderstanding. He shook his head. Patricia Williams, 2 streets over, worked night shift at the hospital. Karen started with parking violations. 18 months later, Patricia had to sell, couldn't afford the fines. For a parking sticker? Then there was Deshawn, paramedic. Same thing. Maria, the overnight dispatcher. Jim looked tired. All of them worked nights. All of them gone within 2 years. Something cold settled in my stomach. That's coincidence? Maybe. Just be careful. And Rebecca, start keeping records. The next Tuesday, another orange notice. $100 fine. The Tuesday after that, $250 fine. I tried calling the HOA office, 3 messages. Finally reached someone who said I'd need to present my case at the monthly board meeting at 2 p.m. on a Wednesday. I work nights. I sleep during the day. Can we do evening? Board meetings are always at 2 p.m. It's in the bylaws. Of course it was. It happened on a Thursday night. Tyler woke up at 2 a.m., wheezing so bad his lips were turning blue. Can't breathe. He clutched his chest, eyes wide with panic. His rescue inhaler was empty. I'd been waiting for payday to refill it, choosing between medication and the mounting HOA fines. Stupid choice. Emergency room, baby, right now. Thank God for Regional Medical Employee Benefits. They got him on a nebulizer immediately. I held his hand while he breathed in the medicine, watching color return to his face. Mom's here. You're okay. We got home at 5 a.m. I'd called in sick to my home health job. Couldn't leave Tyler alone after that scare. Pulled into my driveway to find a tow truck backing up to my Honda. Wait! Stop! I ran toward them, Tyler trailing behind. The driver looked apologetic. Sorry, ma'am. Got a work order from the HOA. For what? I'm in my own driveway. He showed me the paper. Karen's signature at the bottom. Unauthorized commercial vehicle. Says here it's been ticketed multiple times. Please, I just got back from the hospital with my son. I need my car for work tonight. Mom, what's happening? The driver glanced at Tyler, then at me in my rumpled scrubs. Look, I got kids too. You pay the hookup fee, $400. I'll unhook it, but they'll just send someone else tomorrow. $400. The exact amount I needed for Tyler's inhaler refills. I paid it. What choice did I have? Thanks. I managed. "Ma'am," the driver hesitated. "This is the third nurse they've had me out for this month. Just thought you should know." After he left, I found Jim on his porch watching. "Saw the whole thing," he said quietly. "That woman's lost her mind. She tried to have my car towed while my son couldn't breathe. Rebecca." He looked older suddenly. "My daughter, Melanie. She was a 911 dispatcher, worked nights. 2 years ago, Karen did the same thing. Started with fines, then towing threats. Then, Jim, you never mentioned you had a daughter here. She lives in Nashville now. Hour commute each way. Couldn't afford the fines, couldn't afford to fight." His voice cracked. "I see her maybe once a month now. Used to see her every day. Why didn't you tell me?" "Because I'm a coward. Because I still live here. Because what would it change?" He stood up slowly. "But I'm done being quiet. That woman's targeting people. Working people. People who keep us safe at night." I looked at Tyler, still holding my hand. At my Honda with that hospital sticker. At the empty inhaler in my pocket. "Jim, do you know anyone else she's done this to?" "Patricia still works at Regional. Day shift now. Desk job. She kept everything. Every fine, every photo, every threatening letter. Can you get me her number?" He nodded. "Rebecca, be careful. Karen's husband basically owns half this town. Finding her, she tried to take my car while my son couldn't breathe." My voice was steady now. "I'm done being careful." Patricia met me at the regional medical cafeteria. She looked tired, in a different way than night shift tired, defeated tired. "I kept everything," she said, sliding a thick folder across the table. "Don't know why. Maybe hoping someone would finally listen." Inside, 18 months of orange notices, photos of her Corolla with its hospital sticker, the final towing bill, $1,200. "Lost my shift differential going to days," Patricia said. "That's $500 a month, but it was that or lose my house." "How many others?" "Deshawn moved to Memphis. Maria lost her house. Raj switched to day shift like me. All worked nights." I spread the papers out, same pattern every time. That's when Maria Martinez from HR stopped by. "Rebecca, heard you had car trouble." "Can I?" Maria sat down, saw the papers. "Oh my God, Riverview Estates? You know about this?" "My cousin lived there. Security guard. Same thing happened." Maria studied the documents. This might be a Fair Housing Act violation. Patricia and I stared. "I'm serious. Just did training on this. Shift workers can be protected class if discrimination affects housing, especially essential workers." "But it's about parking," I said. "No, it's about forcing out people who work nights. Look, all night shift, all essential workers, all fined during hours they couldn't respond. That's discriminatory impact." My phone buzzed. Jim found 3 more families. That evening, instead of sleeping, I met with them. Tom Chen, mall security. 8 months of fines, up to $800. Jennifer Walsh, 911 dispatcher. She photographs my car every morning at 7 a.m. Marcus Thompson, paramedic. She told me shift workers bring down property values. I recorded it. "You recorded her?" "After Deshawn, yeah. Record everything now." Jim had been taking notes. 12 families total, All night workers, 7 already gone. That's not coincidence, that's targeting. Jennifer spoke up. My sister's a paralegal, said if we prove a pattern, HUD has to investigate. Then we prove it. Everyone document everything, backup recordings, meet next week. As they left, Jim lingered. Rebecca, Karen's got money, connections. I thought of Tyler's blue lips. I'm sure. Filing a HUD complaint isn't like calling the police. It's paperwork, evidence, waiting. Jennifer's sister walked me through it. You need patterns, not incidents, she explained. This takes months. Time I didn't have. The fines kept coming. Now $500 each. 2 weeks later, Karen struck back. Certified letter. Emergency meeting regarding multiple violations. Your presence required. Monday, 2 p.m. Monday, when I'd be sleeping after Sunday night shift. Jim got one too. So did Tom and Jennifer. She knows we filed. Someone tipped her off. Her husband golfs with half the city council. That night at work, I checked Facebook. Karen had posted, some residents think their jobs exempt them from community standards. Riverview Estates is a family neighborhood, not a parking lot for commercial vehicles. The comments were split. Some supported her, others questioned, my daughter's an EMT. Not welcome here? Why are meetings at 2 p.m.? Small cracks. Monday came. 2 hours sleep after trauma shift. 40 people crammed in the clubhouse. Karen in her power suit. So glad you could join us, Miss Martinez. You look tired. Just worked 12 hours saving lives. Murmurs from the crowd. Karen clicked through photos. My Honda, Tom's Kia, Jennifer's Toyota. Work stickers circled in red. These aren't commercial vehicles, Jennifer said. The bylaws are clear. Actually, they're not. A woman stood up. Donna Harrison, real estate attorney. I reviewed your bylaws. Nowhere do they define parking stickers as commercial markings. Karen's face reddened. The board has interpreted without resident vote. Also, targeting light shift workers could violate fair housing laws. No one's targeting anyone. Marcus stood up, phone in hand. I have a recording that says otherwise. That's illegal. Tennessee's one-party consent, Donna said. The room erupted, Karen banging her gavel. Her husband stood up. You people need to remember who maintains your property values. By forcing out nurses? Jim's voice cut through. 7 families gone, all worked nights. She turned on him. If you're unhappy, Mr. Patterson, perhaps you should join them. Silence. That a threat? It's a suggestion. I stood up. I've recorded this entire meeting, every threat. HUD's going to find it very interesting. Get out. Karen's composure cracked. All of you with complaints. For attending a public meeting? Donna asked. I'll be filing my own complaint, pro bono. As we filed out, residents stayed behind, talking in groups. The cracks were widening. Outside, Donna handed me her card. Get that recording to HUD. You did good. I'm running on fumes. Most heroes are. The real fight's just starting.
3 days after the meeting, the registered letter arrived. I signed for it at 7:50 a.m., still in scrubs. Notice of pending legal action. It began. Due to continuous violations, the board is initiating proceedings for removal from Riverview Estates. Then I saw it. Karen's fatal error. Night shift workers and similar transient employment creates an undesirable element that negatively impacts property values. There it was, in writing, on HOA letterhead. I called Donna immediately. She put discrimination in writing. Send me a photo, now. Jim appeared on my porch. Got one too. So did 6 others. Same exact wording. Donna called back. This is a smoking gun. Written admission of discriminatory intent. I forwarded to HUD. That weekend, pounding on my door at 3 p.m. woke me up. Brad Westfield with 2 men. HOA inspection, he announced. You need 48 hours notice. Not for emergencies. We've had complaints. You're not entering without a court order. Brad's face went red. Think you're smart? That lawyer friend scares us? I think you're trespassing and I'm recording. They left. Jim's doorbell camera caught boxes of pre-printed violation notices in Brad's truck. Next morning, every night shift worker had violations. Jennifer, discolored mailbox. Tom, weeds. Marcus, excessive noise while at work. Then Karen's biggest mistake. An email to all residents. Certain individuals are attempting to damage our community with false allegations. These night shift workers create a hostile environment for decent families. Any resident who associates with these troublemakers will be considered in violation of community harmony standards. We must protect property values from those with irregular schedules and commercial vehicles. Donna called within an hour. She just threatened retaliation in writing to 400 households. She's panicking. At work, Maria from HR pulled me aside. 3 more nurses got letters. My cousin saved doorbell footage from last year. Brad discussing how to clean out the night shift trash. Every desperate move created more evidence. Tyler asked that night, "Are we losing our house?" No, baby. Sometimes fighting for what's right is hard, but we're going to win. How do you know? Because Karen just showed everyone exactly who she really is.
The HUD investigator arrived in November, 3 months after our complaint. Not the immediate response you see in movies. Real government work moves like molasses. Ms. Martinez, Carla Phillips, short gray hair, no-nonsense handshake. I'll need to interview everyone who filed complaints. I work nights. Can we meet mornings? Of course. That's actually relevant to the case. She set up in the community center. 17 families interviewed over 2 weeks. I went first, boxes of evidence in hand. Walk me through everything, Carla said, recorder running. 3 hours, every fine, every threat documented. She stopped me when I showed Karen's letters. She wrote undesirable element about night shift workers to 8 families, same letter. I played Marcus's recording, Karen's voice. Property values drop when you have people coming and going at all hours. It's not the kind of neighborhood we're building. Jim's interview lasted 4 hours. He'd researched every family forced out, 7 in 2 years, all night workers. Even residents who hadn't been targeted came forward. She tried to fine me for having a Biden sign, one woman said, but Trump flags were fine. Meanwhile, Karen lawyered up. HOA meetings went virtual, technical difficulties whenever residents tried to speak. The fines kept coming. Tyler's school called one afternoon. Tyler's been in a fight. My heart stopped. Tyler never fought. Some boys said their parents told us we were ruining the neighborhood, Tyler explained later, ice on his black eye. That night, I nearly broke. Called Donna crying. They're using my kid now. Document it. It shows retaliation.
She paused. Rebecca, HUD found something. They're expanding the investigation. What? Financial records. The fines from night shift workers? Nearly $200,000 over 5 years. Never went to HOA improvements. They're bringing in forensic accountants. 3 weeks later, Carla called. Come to the community center tomorrow. Bring Jim and your attorney. Morning came. Carla had set up a presentation. We've documented 47 violations of the Fair Housing Act, systematic discrimination against a protected class. But there's more. She clicked through financial records. Fine money diverted to private accounts, board members receiving consulting fees. This isn't just discrimination, it's fraud. Jim gripped my hand. What happens now? HUD will issue a determination letter, but given the evidence, I'm recommending maximum penalties and criminal referral to the FBI. FBI? Wire fraud. Conspiracy to violate civil rights. This is bigger than housing discrimination. As we left, neighbors were gathering outside. Word had spread. Karen drove by, saw the crowd, kept going. Jim watched her disappear. 40 years I've lived here. Never thought I'd see justice actually coming.
8 months. That's how long it took from filing to determination. 8 months of fines, threats, and Tyler coming home with stories about classmates calling me a troublemaker. The letter arrived Tuesday. Certified mail. My hands shook as I signed. HUD Determination of Discrimination. I called Donna. It's here. Read it. The department finds reasonable cause to believe discriminatory housing practices have occurred. Violation of Fair Housing Act. My voice cracked at the penalties. $50,000 per violation. 46 violations. That's $2.3 million, Donna finished, plus personal damages. I sat down hard. They can't pay that. Their insurance will. Keep reading. Immediate cessation of discriminatory practices. Department recommends criminal investigation. Jim appeared at my door. Emergency HOA meeting tonight. Karen's calling it. The community center was packed. Karen stood at the podium, no longer polished. Hair flat, plain suit replacing designer clothes. Due to unfounded allegations, our insurance premiums have increased. The board recommends a special assessment of $5,000 per household. To cover your discrimination lawsuit. Donna stood up. Chaos erupted. $5,000 because you harassed nurses? Where did our fine money go? Brad tried to restore order. These accusations are lies. I have the HUD letter. I held it up. $2.3 million in penalties for systematic discrimination. Karen's composure shattered. You people ruined everything. We were protecting property values. If you just followed the rules. What rules? Marcus stood. The ones targeting night workers? You don't belong here, Karen screamed. Coming and going at all hours? Brad grabbed her arm. Their lawyer whispered urgently. Meeting adjourned. The lawyer announced. But residents weren't leaving. Someone called for a vote of no confidence.
All in favor of removing the current board. Jim counted. 137 for, 12 against. Karen fled. 3 days later, another letter. Personal settlement. $65,000 for damages, back fines, and emotional distress. Similar offers to all affected families. Take it, Donna advised. Criminal investigation is separate. I thought about Tyler's inhaler, the missed shifts, the fear. I signed.
The FBI arrived in February. 2 agents in dark suits knocking on doors, asking questions about HOA finances. Karen had disappeared after the vote. Brad ran the show now, desperately trying to salvage what was left. But the damage was spreading. Insurance companies threatening to drop us entirely, Jim reported from the new board's first meeting. They've already paid out $2.3 million. Individual settlements could double that. Patricia had driven down from Nashville to watch. Good, she said quietly. Let it all burn. The forensic accounting revealed everything. Fine money diverted to personal accounts, Karen's shopping sprees, Brad's boat, consulting fees to board members that were really kickbacks. $250,000, the lead investigator told the packed room, stolen from homeowners over 5 years. But the real reckoning came in March. I was working when the call came. Maria from HR. Rebecca, turn on Channel 5. The break room TV showed Karen in handcuffs, federal courthouse steps. Brad beside her, head down. Conspiracy to violate civil rights, wire fraud, embezzlement, the reporter read. My coworkers stared. They knew my story. That's her? Dr. Walsh asked. The one who tried to take your car? I nodded, numb. The charges were serious. Each count of civil rights violation carried up to a year, wire fraud up to 20. The stolen money made it federal. Karen's lawyer played it like she was a victim, overzealous community volunteer. But the evidence was overwhelming. Our recordings, the letters, the diverted funds. She pled guilty in May. Watching her stand before the judge, orange jumpsuit replacing designer suits, I felt empty. No satisfaction, just tired. 18 months federal prison, 3 years supervised release, full restitution to victims. Brad got 12 months. 2 other board members got probation. Outside the courthouse, reporters waited. I'd become the face of the case somehow, the single mom who fought back. How do you feel about the sentence? One asked. I feel like going home to my son, I said. But one reporter followed up. What would you say to other homeowners facing HOA harassment? I stopped, thought about Patricia, Jim's daughter, all the families who'd suffered in silence. Document everything, know your rights, and remember, you're not alone. There are more of us than them. Jim waited by my car. He'd driven me knowing I'd be too emotional to drive myself. It's over, he said. Is it, though? He understood. The houses stayed empty where families had fled. The damage to our community ran deep. Karen was going to prison, but the scars remained. At least Melanie can visit without fear now, he said quietly. That was something. Maybe
that was enough.
The Honda's still running. 237,000 miles now, but that hospital parking sticker stays right where it always was. Some things you don't change. I'm working the night shift, by choice. They offered me days after everything happened, but nights pay better. Besides, someone needs to be there for the 3 a.m. emergencies. Tyler's 12 now, taller than me. That settlement money started his college fund and paid for 2 years of inhaler refills up front. He still asks sometimes if the mean lady is coming back. No, baby, she's not. Riverview Estates looks different. Jim serves as HOA president now. Meetings at 6 p.m. so workin' folks can attend. The new bylaws specifically protect essential workers. Patricia even moved back, bought a house 3 streets from her old one. Couldn't get my exact house back, she told me over coffee, but close enough. The empty houses filled slowly. Young families mostly. Nurses, teachers, firefighters. People who work odd hours and keep our community running. Karen's house sold in foreclosure. A traveling nurse bought it, which felt like poetic justice. She parks her Subaru with 3 different hospital stickers right where Karen used to take her photos. Not everything's perfect. Some old-timers still mutter about property values. Brad's brother runs for board every election, promising to restore standards. He loses every time. Jim's daughter Melanie visits every Sunday now, brings her kids. He planted roses where he used to sit watching Karen harass his neighbors. Any regrets? Donna asked me last week. She still handles HOA legal matters, pro bono, for anyone who needs it. For what? Fighting back? You could have just moved. I thought about it. The stress, the sleepless days, Tyler's black eye. Then I thought about Tom Chen, still doing security, able to afford his mortgage. Jennifer Walsh, who just made dispatch supervisor. Marcus, whose recordings started everything. No regrets, I said. Last Tuesday, 2 a.m., my phone buzzed. Text from a number I didn't recognize. I'm a nurse in Georgia. Our HOA just started fining night shift workers. I saw your story on YouTube. What do I do? I send her Donna's number, then typed, document everything. You're not alone. And that parking sticker? It's not just a sticker. It's a badge of honor. The Honda needs new tires soon. Maybe a transmission rebuild, but she'll keep running. We both will. That's what we do. We keep showing up, night shift after night shift. Someone has to.